Everybody, everyone's.
Everyone's and everybody. How you doing now, people?
Thank you for joining us. You have just tuned in to Where is the Love? I am your host, one of the hosts, Stephanie Hawkenhall.
And I am Adisha Taranji Malik, formerly known as Jimmy Williams. What it do, good people? Hello there. And I love that afro with that part there in the middle. Soul sister number one.
I just need my afro pick with my.
Hey, you right. There you go. You already know it. Gotta have right in the center so you see it though. Still a while out like, hey, what's up? I'm pouring to the sun. I'm pouring to the sun.
You know what? That reminded me. I walked into this place this week. Listen, he just put it on there. I cannot believe it. This lady, he put on here. She's doing her Angela Davis impersonation.
I was just gonna say Angela Davis. That's crazy.
I walked into this store this week to get some gas, and the lady said, "You look just like Angela Davis, glasses and all." And I was like, "What?" And then I didn't even say it, and he put it up.
Right. Yeah, power to the people.
Like he said, my impersonation of her, but I'm like, wow.
Yep. I was still about to say, you doing your Angela Davis right now. Love it.
Angela, sister.
So the power to the people.
That's right. So y'all, you should, wherever you see us at, we're all over the place. We're in different places right now. Facebook Live. Well, wherever you're watching us from, you know where you're looking at us from. But YouTube, I'll just say YouTube, Love Misunderstood Institute, and Premier Fitness 0210. And right now, while we're airing the show, you can watch us on TV. So we're on Roku. We're also on Amazon Fire. All you have to do is go on one of those and then search PODTV space LIVE, and you can watch us live only while we're airing the show or when they do a replay of this show. And so thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We have been talking about a lot of stuff.
Don't forget your LinkedIn.
Yeah, and so today, for the very first time, I connected it to my LinkedIn Love Misunderstood Institute. I don't know why I hadn't been doing that. I've been putting it on my personal one because I have more connections there. But anyway, so for the first time, I put it on my LinkedIn. And so you want to say anything about the last show or
right?
Anything?
Yeah, I got you. So the last few shows we were talking about being emotionally unavailable and just the levels of and how that situation is created. And something that we're going to get into today with this show kind of mirrors that reality that a person who is emotionally unavailable has scars. They have trauma that they experienced in the past, and it's created a situation where they are 9.9 times out of 10 afraid to be vulnerable, and it creates a situation of emotional unavailability.
And so thank you for saying that, because it did make me also think about narcissists and how narcissists, they're, sometimes, they're, I ain't going to say all the time, but more than likely they could be operating out of pain, functioning out of pain and putting that pain and that trauma off onto other people because they don't really know what to do with it. And so that to us, it comes out as not caring about anything or anybody but yourself. Because we don't understand, that that's how they're operating or functioning out of that. So, thank you for sharing that. Go ahead.
I was going to say something that fascinates me about what we do is the psychology of the instances or the situation that we're talking about, like a person who, has narcissistic personality disorder. Now, they may have missed some, nurturing or something like that, in their upbringing, and
Yep.
and it pans out to be, they become, their personality is built off of things that they did not have, the tools that they didn't have.
Yep.
It's like they had those tools early on, and we'll talk about this with this new subject as well. Um, but it's like oftentimes they didn't have the tools. The person who raised them didn't have the tools to teach them how to genuinely, authentically, and empathetically interact with people.
Yeah.
And so it creates like a situation of where they feel always on guard, and and I gotta put other people down so that I can feel like I'm worthy.
Yep.
And that it's a really jacked up situation because I mean we're all worthy of love. I mean we are all emanations of the Creator, so we all are absolutely deserving of love and respect and empathy and compassion. But when you're not given the tools, it creates a personality that is represented by a void.
Yep.
Is how I
And,
see it.
yep. And so the fact that you even brought that up, I was talking to somebody about that after church today. And she was asking me, because I was telling her I talk about bullying because that, been a lot of my experience. And so she was saying, she was asking me, so why do you think that is? Why do you think that happened? And so I was talking about the nurturing, missing the nurturing and believing, and then understanding that trust, the nurturing, how can I say it? The nurturing helps you to understand trust, how to trust.
Right.
It creates a trust in you. And so when you don't get that, can I depend on you to change my diaper when I'm wet? I'm wet. I need to be changed, or I'm hungry, are you feed me? And then maybe not getting those things at the time that we need them, then that, how do I want to say stifles, it hurts and negatively affects so much is going through my mind with that, but it negatively affects your trust, in the future, because I didn't get what I needed when I needed it, or was it nurturing, a lot of holding that you needed, that personal touch. And so, the fact that you, just said that, made me go back to that. And so I was saying, I don't know if that's a part of it. And then, and then I explained, well, my mom was young, when she had me, and she depended on her mother a lot. My daddy wasn't there, and so anyway, wow. So we don't know, I mean, things cause us to be certain ways. And so we're just giving you some information about, some of the causes, not making excuses for anything or anybody, but we react to things that happen to us as a result of things that we experienced. And so let's get into this.
Can I add one more thing real quick? So something that going along with what you said about the lack of nurturing and whatnot, like in situations like that, oftentimes the person who received that neglect or that feeling of lack has a underdeveloped amygdala.
Yeah.
Which is a part of the brain that releases oxytocin and things of that nature to allow a person to be comfortable and feel safe.
Yeah.
And when it's underdeveloped, they always feel like the fight or flight mentality, or freeze. Gotta add that one.
Yeah.
Fight, flight, or freeze aspects of the consciousness. And so it creates an imbalance within the person.
Yep.
So, I mean, so basically we broke all of that down into multiple levels for you right now.
And not only is it multiple levels, but we have discussed those multiple levels. We talked about the brain and the way things affect the certain parts of the brains and how certain parts of the brain operate. So we've talked about that too. So you have to go back. I don't remember what episode. It wasn't that long ago. Been in the last at least 2 months that we talked about that. So you can go back and, we ain't just talking off the top of our head. This is, what we learned. And so we want to get into today's show. And so just to let you know that the shadow behind the smile and how pain creates bullies. And like I said, we're not making excuses for the bully, but we're just sharing some information. They hurt too, and so they just don't know how to direct their hurt or their pain. And so that's some of what we want to talk about today. So you want to start or you want me to start?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought, all right, so today's topic hits home for so many people. When someone hurts you, it feels personal. It feels like they looked at you and decided that you were small or weak or unworthy. But here's something most people never realize. Many bullies are fighting battles you cannot see.
Yep.
They are holding wounds that never healed. They are carrying pain that turned into behavior, and that behavior turned into patterns, and those patterns became their personality. But personality is not identity, and behavior is not the full story.
Yep.
So today we are looking behind the face, behind the anger, behind the sarcasm, behind the cruelty, into the emotional wounds that create bullying behavior. We are not here to excuse it, though. We're here to understand it, and understanding is important.
Yes.
Because everyone wants love. They just don't know how to receive it.
Right. And because give it.
Right, exactly. Because understanding is what sets people free and also creates connection.
Yeah. So I'm lost. I'm sorry. I was trying to post stuff. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I hope I'm in the right place. Okay, so I love that you said behavior is not identity. Am I in the right place? Okay.
Yep.
Because so many people believe bullies are just born mean. And I got to pause. Because I always said, why are there so many doggone mean people in this world? What the heck is wrong with people? But this was before I understood that it was bullying. I had no idea that it was bullying for me as an adult. Bullying, my first thought, like so many other people, kids. Adults are bullies too. So kids, they grow up without being shaped and molded and corrected on a continual basis to understand that bullying, negative controlling behavior is what bullying is, repetitive. If you don't get this figured out and get it straight, you're going to continue to do this throughout your life. Well, kids don't stay kids forever. Think about it. Kids grow up to be adults and they continue this raggedy behavior. And I say raggedy because it's so hurtful. And I used to be like, why are there so many doggone mean people in this world? Wow. And then once I learned a few decades later, adults experience bullying too. This is bullying. What you have been experiencing is bullying. I'm sure bullying is trying to control the way somebody thinks, the way somebody feels, the way somebody talks, acts. Those are things that are bullying. So, okay. I just had to say that because that really, it still gets to me when I think about it, because I didn't understand what it was and people don't understand. And so that's why this work is so important to me, to open people's eyes to understand this is bullying and we don't have to put up with this. So, and again, we're not making excuses for the bully. So, like I said, a lot of people believe bullies are just born mean, but bullies they weren't taught how to handle emotional pain. Nobody showed them where to put their hurt, so they learned to throw it at others. So bullying almost always begins with invisible pain. So before somebody ever became the mean girl, the aggressive coworker, the controlling partner, or the loud child, something happened inside them, something painful, something that they didn't have the tools to manage. And so I have to say this right here, because I'm a certified mental health coach and I work with an organization, Building Bridges KC. And so we're a group of mental health people that are working together to help people with their mental health. We all know that mental health is a huge thing right now. So in the schools, we go into public schools and we teach kids resiliency. Things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. Thanks, Mark. Bad things are going to happen to people, to us, period. And so we have to learn how to deal with those things and how to handle those things when they happen. And so it's very important to understand how to respond. You need tools to manage your behavior. Otherwise, all the killings that we're seeing, people using guns, just going crazy with guns, killing each other, this is the stuff we're going to keep seeing until people get their minds right. So Mark says, been watching Shaka Smart. Bullies have a fixed mindset, not a growth mindset. Exactly.
Right.
My mindset is at a standstill. I don't know what to do. So the growth mindset is helping them. Okay, I can't stay here in this space. I got to move forward. So thanks, Mark, for that. Gene, you want to add anything?
Yeah, for sure. So the stuck mindset is like I'm trying to protect something, something that I feel like I have control over. So if someone creates fluctuation within that, it's like I gotta stand firm and keep this thing going, as opposed to like you said, the growth mindset where it's like, okay, I need to adapt to this situation. And also kind of going back to what you were saying before, like not only is it that oftentimes they won't give them the tools, but it's also like they're mimicking something that they saw.
Kids, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, right. It's oftentimes they're mimicking what they've seen and what they personally experienced.
Yep.
So it's a lot bullying, just like, hey, we a good while back we talked about racism. I don't think we quite said it was a mental health illness.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak on that, but even that is a taught behavior.
Yeah.
Like when children are around each other and they haven't been tainted, they interact naturally with each other. They don't care about They don't understand this. I'm a so-called white child and this is a so-called black child. They don't care about that. This is a kid and I'm a kid.
Yeah. And I
want to play. And that's how naturally people react. Now, when they're taught that this person is less than and I'm greater than, then that's when you create situations of racism, and superiority complex and narcissistic personality disorder, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But a lot of this hatred, bullying is a taught thing, um, either by someone telling you this is how you interact with people or by example. Um, and then it's just learned over time and it's solidified into a person's consciousness that this is how I should interact with people. So oftentimes people who are bullies weren't given the tools to be empathetic. They didn't see empathy.
Yeah.
Um, they saw a person trying to uphold some sort of consciousness that made them feel safe and protected because they weren't given, the tools to be flexible and empathetic and open to, different experiences. They had to keep this because this makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this over and over again because I feel safe doing this, even though it's insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is insanity.
Yeah.
So
So I want to add something to what you said. Bullying is learned behavior, but it's also, as a young kid, it is a natural response. Because if somebody push you, you gonna push them back. If somebody bites you or hit you, your natural response is to hit, to do whatever was done, to do back to that person what they did to you. Right. So it's a natural thing too. And so at that age, that's when we're to redirect them and to help them understand that's not the thing to do. And so as you age, as you continue to age, so we have to cut it off then when they're toddlers, which is part of what I teach. Is as toddlers, you naturally respond to, like I just said, in the way that somebody treated you. But if you're not corrected, then you believe that behavior is okay. So you continue doing that. And then, so that's the natural response part of it. And then other times after that, as we age and as we continue to grow, then we're being taught how to be a bully. We're being taught things like Gene just used, the examples that he just used. We're being taught to control somebody, by the way they think or by the way they feel, or by things that they do. And so also we try to isolate people, don't be around that person, or don't, we don't want that person to be a part of our group, or we don't like that person because they are different from us. So things like that, we are taught that, as you continue to age, you learn, like you go to school and you learn at home. Home is the first place that you learn. And so you learn from home the things that you learn from the things that you hear your parents or the older people around you, the things that they say and that they do, you pick up those things. And so those are learned behaviors. And so those learned behaviors can have you bullying somebody else and trying to control the way they think or the way they feel or what they do. And then so that is learned behavior. And so you want to add anything to that?
No, I do want to move on to the next point because it actually co-signs this. So sometimes the pain wasn't one big event or one big moment. Sometimes it's years of small cuts. There was this book that I read some time ago called "A Thousand Little Cuts," and it was made into a movie. But it's like that, how a person, like, short story. Was it Philippine or Korean? There's a torture mechanism where you cut a person 1,000 times over time, little small cuts. You don't want to kill them, you want to torture them. And it was likened to how you deal, how a narcissist deals with people. It's not, smart ones are not gonna just chop your head off. They want to keep you there to feed off of you. So they little small cuts over time. And then you realize over time, like, this torture has been dragged out forever. you know. But so just going back to what it is, like sometimes it's years of small cuts, years of not being protected, years of being judged or ignored, years of being compared. Oh, comparison is an ugly thing. Why would you ever do that to somebody?
Yeah.
Um, Years of being invisible. Uh, emotional starvation can Emotional starvation can break the human spirit quietly.
Yep. And so we want to share a few stories with you here, to help you understand this a little bit more, to give you a better view of what we're talking about. So, a middle school girl controlled everything: who sat where, who was included. One day she whispered, "If I lose control, they will replace me." Her bullying behavior was survival in disguise. So,
Wow.
so there you saw that her bullying was to survive. This is how I survive. And so it became control to other people. So it looked like control and felt like control, or the experience for the others around her was control. But with her, she just trying to survive. So what was she experiencing? This is something to consider. What was she experiencing that made her feel like this is the only way I can survive? What is she really fighting? So the question is, what was she really fighting in the environment she's in the most?
Right.
So home, for example, where
Yep.
she is, what is going on there that she feels like this is my only way to survive? So is she at home experiencing her parents? This is an example. Her parents arguing and fussing and cussing at each other all the time, and then not knowing how to handle it. So I go around other people and I'm just trying to survive. I don't want nobody doing. I don't want to go somewhere else and hear this and feel this and experience this. So over here, nobody's doing that. So I feel like this is the only way that I can survive over here,
Mhm.
is by telling people what to do. So I
Right.
can't do it at home because they're doing it and they won't allow me to do it. But I can go over here and I can do just what I'm experiencing at home. But what it looks like and what she's really experiencing is, I've got to find a way to survive.
Right.
And we don't know, you know, when we're being treated that way. For example, I'm being treated by that person from their experiences, but I have no idea what their experiences are. But so
Right.
what I'm getting is, I'm reaping the negative benefits of what you're experiencing somewhere else, because you don't know where to put your boundaries. Oh, that's
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
That's tight, but it's right.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
you want to add something to it?
Yeah. I was gonna say it also sounds like she may have abandonment issues.
Yeah.
You know, everything has to be in a certain place so I feel safe. Like, like no one will leave me. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no telling, man.
Yeah.
Man. Uh, it's amazing, and that's why it's always important as adults to just be aware of how you interact with others around your children, because children are
That,
sponges. Yeah, they watch everything, everything,
yeah.
everything, and it ain't just what you. They listen to what you say, but they're watching your actions.
Yep.
You know the saying, "Do as I say, not as I do." No, we gonna do what you do. Now,
Yep.
what you say, if it don't equal up, we're gonna do what you're doing, because
Yeah.
that's the example.
Yeah.
We are, they call it the nature versus nurture um, paradigm. So we pay attention and we act as we see others act.
Yeah. You might want to close your blinds or your
We sound right now.
Okay. So I'm always thinking about how people can see all on the inside, but you can't see them on the outside because it's dark outside. So
I just see them. Go ahead and try.
okay, let's move on before you go somewhere else in your mind.
Don't get me started now, Ron. You already know. I ain't scared. Go ahead and try me if you want to. You ain't gonna like the results. That's all I got to say, player. Go to read story 2.
Oh Lord.
You want to read story 2?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So story 2 is the man who bullied his coworkers. So a man who criticized coworkers nonstop finally admitted, my father never gave me a voice. Now that I have one, I'm not giving it up. His aggression was fear dressed as power.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know how it goes. Like, I think as this has always been the thing for me. Adults always say, "Stay in the child's place," and it's right in some in most instances. But also, we have to give the child the respect that they're an intelligent being and they have their own viewpoint and opinion. But at least listen. You don't have to agree, but listen and let them know by listening and trying to understand that this person is intelligent and they have their own perspective and it needs to be respected.
Yeah.
When you basically your opinion don't matter, stay in a child's place. I'll stay in a child's place for sure, but as a child, I see I see a few miles ahead just because I'm watching you and watching it.
Right.
So just honor, just everyone needs to be honored, man. Everyone deserves respect. Um, and when you don't, you either create a pie or you create a monster who's got to control everything.
Yeah.
Someone who gets run over by everyone and everything, or they got to control and manipulate everything.
Yeah.
You get that. You get that dichotomy, and it's ugly. Um, but the balance of having the ability to speak your mind and speak your truth um, in a comfortable and safe space with boundaries, because everything has to have a balance.
Yeah.
You can't have your kids just going off and calling you all kind of crazy. No, you get chopped in the throat.
Yeah.
2 times to the throat.
Yeah.
2 times to the throat. But you have the ability to speak your mind as long as you're respectful. You see that balance right there?
Yeah.
I'm giving a person their autonomy, but
Yeah.
also setting a firm boundary.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah. When you understand that it is. When understand you silence that voice, but we don't understand the damage that we're doing, to that kid or to that person when we're constantly silencing them. Right. We're doing some things to their mind, like you said, we're, so many things is going.
Slow down. Take a deep breath.
But it's hard because we are really putting them in a place of just be quiet. And so I don't know when to speak because you're, like you said, you're telling me my voice is not important. What I have to say is not important, and we do have to teach and we do have to help and guide is the thing that, that's most important. And that is we have to guide and direct and teach. This is not
and
a time.
Be taught.
Say that again.
And be taught.
Yep. Because even as adults, sometimes because of the hurt and the pain, from the past, we talk and say things in ways that we shouldn't. And that's because we feel like it's okay. like this dude that you just
right.
just read the story about. I mean, he was criticized, so and his father never gave him a voice. So his current experience took him back to his past experience, and then gave him the outcome, that you're now experiencing, that shared in the story. And so I just wanted to add that. I don't want to keep going on that. Did you want to add something else to that?
Yeah. I mean, we already said this, but just everyone's voice is important.
Yeah.
Be heard, but also voice your opinion with respect and concern and compassion and empathy for others. Because, I mean, you don't want to voice your opinion and do the same thing that was done to you that you hated.
Yeah.
So understand that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That is a universal law. Everything that you do, you're going to get that result back and the opposite.
Yeah.
So be aware of everything you do. It's going to come back to you.
Boomerang.
Flat. Oh.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Which one of y'all hit me?
So here's story number 3. The quiet girl who became mean online. So there was a gentle teen girl who admitted being mean is the only time I feel strong. That was what she admitted. She wasn't cruel. She wasn't drowning in powerlessness. But being mean and feeling like that's the only time you can be strong is by bullying somebody else. Right. That's not good.
Right.
So she was being a trifling mean. That's what Mark said.
Well, yeah. And meanness is not power. That's not power. That's really weakness. Yeah. You don't have to be mean to interact with people.
But to that person feels power. I feel powerful. So that's the thing. Yeah, I feel powerful, and so that's why I'm being cruel. Yeah, and that ain't nothing about that cool.
and nothing about that powerful either. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what makes them feel strong and powerful, because they're anyway, let's move on. You want to do the next part, or you want me to do it?
I got you. I can do it. So emotional illiteracy. Most bullies never learn emotional vocabulary. Homes that say, stop crying, fix your face, be strong, raise adults who don't know how to identify emotions, how to name feelings, how to communicate needs, and how to regulate their reactions. So a real life example of such is a woman could only express anger. Underneath it was sadness, fear, embarrassment, and shame.
Yeah. So, go ahead if you want to add something.
Well, I was going to say, we need a plethora of vocabulary words to express ourselves in a constructive way.
Yeah.
As opposed to destructive. She was only allowed to express anger. But there's so much more. Like, anger is a symptom of something.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first word, sadness, fear, abandonment, embarrassment, shame. Like, fear is a symptom. It's not a base. It's not a base emotion.
Yeah.
Sadness and fear are. And it wasn't my therapist, who said that sadness is guardian. It may have been one of my friends. Anger is sadness's guardian. So anger arises to protect the sadness that you feel, as opposed to that anger being the original thing.
Yeah.
It's just like cancer is a symptom of things that are built up over time. Diabetes, same thing. It's something that's accumulated over time. That's the symptom of this root cause, this root problem.
Yeah. That's good. So we don't realize. So if we're more helpful, we're more helpful when we can help a person identify their emotions and how to name the feeling and how to communicate the needs and how to regulate their reactions. Because if we're not teaching them that, then we're teaching them by the things that you said, fix your face, stop crying and stuff like that. Don't be, So you teach them it ain't okay to show emotion,
Right.
and it's looked at as a weakness instead of what are you feeling? Let's talk about this.
Right.
What's your experience? What are you feeling? You're crying, you're upset, instead of saying, stop crying. What's going on? Why are you crying?
Right.
That's teaching them why am I crying? And then that helps them to respond.
Right.
So then they're speaking it out. This is how I feel. So then they're acknowledging that emotion. That's a better way than to say, stop crying, be quiet, I'm going to give you something to cry about, be strong, stuff like that. None of that has redirected me to acknowledge my emotion, to acknowledge what I'm feeling,
right,
so that it can change.
Right, right.
So if you don't acknowledge it, you're not telling the truth about what you're really feeling. So then basically all you're doing is suppressing that and never doing nothing about it. And then it comes out as anger. It comes out as, it can be
manipulation.
Yep. All kind of stuff that it can turn into. Because I got to know how to, this is my way of dealing with this. Because I don't want to hear this, or I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel, stop crying. This is how I'm really feeling.
Right.
So if you address it and start dealing with it, acknowledge first, this is how I'm feeling. Yep. So our way to help is to say, okay, why are you crying? How can I help you? Let's talk about it. What are you feeling? Then that helps. But you tell me to stop crying, be quiet, shut up, fix my face, and all of that stuff, then I'm bottling all of these emotions up, which turns into, as you say, diseases. It turns into different things, high blood pressure, diabetes, all kind of things we're internalizing. And so these things are making a house in certain areas of your body because you are not acknowledging it. And so it turns out as whatever kind of disease or whatever kind of ailment in your body, because you stored it by suppressing. You want to add something?
Yeah, it's like I had a couple of analogies that came to me. Like suppressing things is like planting a seed. You press it down and you put it in the soil. What happens when you put seeds in the soil? Something grows from that.
Yeah.
So now you have a whole garden full of these suppressed emotions that come out as being fly traps and things that will kill you, nightshades and stuff like that. As opposed to, say you have, some pressure in a bottle or something, and as opposed to keeping that top on it to keep that pressure in there and it's cooking and it's boiling and whatnot, you take the top off and you allow it to be released.
Yep.
And now that pot can settle. And that's what happens when you give a child or a person the ability to speak their mind about a situation, to acknowledge their feelings and name those emotions, you create a situation of freedom. Now they can openly express, this is how I'm feeling, and get it off of you.
Yep.
As opposed to pressing it down and it becomes something even worse.
Yes.
You know,
because
it's like what you saying?
I just said, yeah, because that's what's gonna happen. Right. You suppressing it, and it's gonna store somewhere. And
and manifest.
Yeah.
It's gonna become something else. And something I love. I've grown to love horror movies. But when you ignore the monster becomes stronger. You know.
Yeah.
As opposed to going right to that monster and naming the monster for what it is, then you weaken it because you acknowledge it in its original form. You are my fear. You are my embarrassment. You are my shame. And that takes the sting off of it because you're able to name it. But when it's unknown to you, it's a bigger monster that you ever dealt with before because you don't have the tools to name this thing. You haven't been given those tools. So now it's like, I don't know what this is. And now it's about to devour me.
Yeah. And it will do that too.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, a way to help is to redirect so that a person don't stay stuck and experience hardship and pain and ailments. Oh, Mark says something. Let me get back to that. He said, might be making a burning house in your body. Yep. Because that's what it does. Right. Did you want to add something else?
No, I actually wanted to go to the next part.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so the fear behind cruelty. Behind every bully is a frightened child. Fear of being abandoned, fear of looking weak, fear of being unloved, fear of being unnoticed, or fear of being hurt again. Again, you notice the word fear. Fear is a big thing. Fear creates a person who creates, what's the word I'm looking for? Protection mechanisms to keep themselves safe.
Yeah.
And in situations like this, when you're not able to name your trauma and your pain and your feelings, then it becomes a negative aspect of that feeling that you're experiencing. So for fear, because I'm experiencing fear, now I'm going to be angry and protect myself and everything. I got to be, you know what I mean? It really ain't got to be that. Or I could be super, again, fight, flight, or freeze.
Yep.
It reestablishes those three mechanisms in the body. So it's like it's vastly important to teach people how to have the emotional vocabulary to express, I'm feeling sad right now. I'm feeling frustrated right now. And again, that creates a pathway to healing and acknowledgement. The first step to healing is acknowledging that there's a problem.
Yeah.
And you can acknowledge it when you have the vocabulary and the tools to do so.
Yep. That's good. So here's another story. The boy who fought everyone. He said, if I don't fight, people won't know I'm scared. His aggression was self-protection. That's really sad.
Yeah.
But it's a real thing.
Right.
I can't let people think I'm scared because that makes me look bad.
Right. Makes me look weak.
Huh? Makes
me look weak.
Yep. That. So here's a reflection. So fear builds walls, but walls trap you with your pain. We just talked about it. They keep people out, but they also keep people healing. So what are you saying? Huh?
But they also keep healing out.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what I said, but I must didn't say it right. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you for. Uh, so if you want to be healed, so I always use this analogy, and this means a lot to me. If you holding on to something and don't let it go, can't nothing get in there either, because your fist is closed too tight. You really holding on to whatever is in there. You don't want to let it out. Once you open your hands, you free yourself. That thing goes away. Now your hand is empty to receive that good thing. So if you acknowledge your feelings, if you acknowledge the pain, then you can open your hand and get that healing. But as long as you want to hold on to what you think is right and what you feel is right, who we?
Oh
You're gonna continue to suffer.
Right.
So now we don't have that much more time. So we want to do a little mini trauma education. So you want to do it?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
The trauma part, we're going to do the trauma point 1. Trauma changes the brain's alarm system.
Got you. All right. Yeah. So I got you. Childhood chaos rewires the brain for danger. People react to present moments with past fear.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so they're not exploding at the moment. They're exploding at their memories.
Yep.
Man, that's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead and add what you want to add to it.
Well, I didn't want to get too, but yeah. So we hold on to those things, like you said. You're holding on to something from your past. You haven't allowed yourself to open your hand and allow yourself to release that which no longer serves you.
Yep.
Now, it may have created a protection mechanism that helps you not be vulnerable, but it also, like you said, you put up a wall to protect yourself, but you also keep yourself trapped in that mind frame.
Yeah.
So we have to be open to change.
Yeah. And then trauma changes the brain's alarm system. So childhood chaos rewires the brain for danger. People react to present moments with past fear. So they're not exploding at that moment, they're exploding at their memories. And Jean just read that. So sorry. Trauma freezes emotional development. Emotional growth stops where safety stops.
Yeah, and that explains adults who argue like children or shut down emotionally.
Wow. So then the next one, here's another trauma point 3. Trauma teaches survival, not connection. Children raised in survival learn protection, not vulnerability.
Right. Yeah, and vulnerability is important for relationships. Survival mode becomes their relationship style. So they're in a romantic or business relationship, and they're about survival as opposed to connecting with the person. So it's always going to be, when I feel unsafe, I'm a run.
Yeah.
Or I'm a fight. Or I'm a freeze.
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Those 3 keep coming up.
Yeah. So then you can ask the reflection questions.
All right, so here are some reflection questions for you all to think about. Who hurt you because they were hurting?
Yeah.
What emotion wasn't allowed in your home? When have you acted out of pain? Man, that one right there.
Yeah.
What wound do you still carry? Who taught you how to handle emotions? Or were you even taught how to handle emotions? I don't think most people from my generation, now we have more knowledge now, but we didn't have those tools to, how do you handle emotions? Well, you mad right now. It's either you were taught to push it down, ignore it, or something else. It was rarely ever constructive because we didn't have those tools.
Yeah. If we did,
So
we didn't know
a
nothing
grounded,
about them. If we
right,
did have,
exactly,
we didn't know nothing about them. Go ahead.
right, right. So a grounding exercise is when you're in a state of stress, you put your hand over your heart and you start to breathe slowly. You slow your breathing down and you focus your attention and energy on the moment. And you say to yourself, I am safe. My feelings are valid. My healing matters.
Yep.
Um, a healing affirmation is I am not what happened to me. I am not what I became to survive. I am healing. And
Yep.
know that healing is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't say this affirmation and wake up in the morning completely healed.
Yep.
No, that's not going to happen that way. It's going to be it's going to be a process.
Yep.
So you have to just keep doing it, keep saying it, being aware in the moment, being present in the moment in order to heal.
Yep. And so I'm gonna say a short prayer, and then you can do the weekly challenge. So, Lord, heal every wound that has shaped our reactions, our relationships, and our self-worth. Bring comfort where there was fear, strength where there was trauma, and peace where there was confusion.
That's it. So a weekly challenge. Write down one emotional wound you're ready to acknowledge and speak compassion over it. That is so important.
Yep. So, and affirmations are so important too. So I'm gonna repeat the affirmation. I am not what happened to me. I am not what I became to survive. I am healing. So if you keep that in your mind, pray, keep that in your mind that, I am better than what I was told I am. I am better than what I believed I am. I am better than I was, um, what I was made to believe about me or what I made myself believe about me.
Right.
And so then you and continue to um, acknowledge your feelings and to want to change it. If it's something that's not healthy for you and not good for you, desire to change it. Just make that choice. I don't want this. Open
Right.
your hand and let it go. I want what's good for me, and keep your hand open because that good thing is coming because you released that thing that was not good for you. So what do
Right.
you add?
Yep. So the last reflection, write about a time someone hurt you from their pain. A
Yeah.
journal assignment, something that we should be doing often, journaling. What emotion was unsafe for you? An activity that you can do is write a letter to your younger self. And a final faith affirmation is God heals the wounds I healed.
Yep. So stop hiding it. Let it go.
Right.
Let
Yeah.
it go.
Open your hand and shed light upon it. The light of
Yeah.
your acknowledgement.
Yeah. You want to add anything else? We are 1 minute.
Yeah. Just love yourself, man. Love yourself enough to realize that, you know, your feelings are important. They matter. Acknowledge them, heal, and give yourself grace.
Yeah. And so the name of this show is Where is the Love? And so where's the love? The love is on the inside of you. So you just have to release what's on the inside of you because it's already there. And so by making that choice to let go of what is not good for you, then you're choosing to love yourself. You're choosing to allow that love to, I don't know. Um, I'm thinking of like a agitation, like I'm trying to think of a word to, what you're doing. That love is stirring up on the inside of you, and it can
Right.
come out.
Right.
You're allowing it to come out.
Radiate.
Yeah, that's a good word. So, y'all, this is the end of our time. We hope you enjoyed the show. And I am going to add the reflection questions onto this episode. So in the comments in the episode, to give you an opportunity to really start working with that and to focus on healing and not bullying and controlling others. So that's our time for now. Peace. Sending you peace, sending you love. Until next time, see you next week. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching us from. Take care. Bye for now.